Hello and welcome to Extra Connections. I'm James Lott Jr. here on JLJ Media. I am the JLJ of JLJ Media. Just happens to happen that way. We always connect with people, places, things, and ideas. And this is an actress we're connecting with who came across my desk. She actually has a film that's out tomorrow, as it's actually it's kind of great. It's the 16th coming out called let's see, Hex. That's what it's called. And she's in there, and it's directed by Chris Johnston and Annie how do you say his last name?
Matt, spell it for me.
Mal
Malchiodi, I think.
Malchiodi, I think what it is. Yes.
Yeah.
And it's mostly we're gonna talk about what the movie's all about because you hear the word hex, you're like, what does that mean? We're gonna hear what that's all about.
hmm
I just why I watched the trailer, it was really good. And just other stuff coming up that she's working on. We're gonna talk about her in acting, how she got into acting, what's going on, and just get a little to know her too. Her name is Kayla Adams. Welcome, Kayla.
Hi, thanks for having
My
me.
pleasure. So first of all, I always ask everybody all this because it's been a weird time period, the last couple of
Yeah.
years. So I always ask, how are you doing?
I'm doing so good. Life just can't get any better.
That's a great. I love it, and it's so funny because in some ways, this pandemic stuff that went
hmm
down gave rebirth to a lot of people, and actually, some people
Yes.
had some great success during this time period. So it's kind of funny, right? I think it's kind of funny.
Yeah. No, it's true. I think it obviously went on a lot longer than we all initially thought it was going to be, but it let us hit pause and do some alone work and because we had to be alone and
Yes.
connect to yourself and something greater than us and what's going on. And yeah, I mean, obviously it was very challenging and incredibly challenging, but I don't know. I feel like we're in a good place now and I'm really grateful just to be alive and to be here.
Did you think that you would be able to continue your acting career, and then those early that like 2020, let's say 2020, where it was kind of like everything was on lockdown, studios were closed. Did you think, I hope we get out of this, or did you always think, oh, we get out of this at some point?
Good question. I think I always assumed we would just because like the way that they were portraying, like, oh, it's just a few more weeks, a few more weeks. So I never really thought it was going to be on for so long. And then there would be like a couple random, like trickle in auditions, like
Yes.
7 or 8 months later. And like everyone was going out for it because there was one project in LA, which
Yeah.
I think was possibly a Michael Bay movie or something. And so everyone was crazy about it. And then it was crickets again because we opened and we closed, right? So it was nerve wracking, but I knew we're all in the same boat.
Yeah.
And what are you going to do about it? There's things that are out of your control. This couldn't be more out of our control. So I just kind of let it go and just did what I could do with myself and just keep my heart and my spirits up. And that's it.
Yeah. It's funny because I felt the same way, kind of like you too, because we did open up for a
hmm
while ago, but it was really weird because there were folks, you're right, it was about 7 or 8 months in where I was getting called for a few auditions, hearings for things, or for hosting,
Yeah.
whatever. And I'm like, oh, but it was done through Zoom, of course. That was
hmm
different before I would go to actual place and
Yeah.
talk. But it was kind of like, oh, and they would tell me, oh, well, the studio was closed, but we're preparing for when we come out of this, whenever that is. Like, we're still
hmm
looking for things. And
hmm
then a few productions started coming back with COVID protocols. So like, you're right. It was kind of
Yeah.
weird. Like, oh, and then he said, yeah, then that would happen. I would do two things, and all of a sudden, 2 months, nothing. And all of a sudden,
Yeah.
come in, and you're right. I think everybody was going for it. You're like,
Everybody. Yes. It's like all we could talk about. But you got to give it up to filmmakers because like this type of industry, filmmakers, we'll make anything work. You know what I mean? Like they got so creative and so educated on how to have our productions going with safety protocols and whatever they needed to do to put in place. So it's like if anyone could do it, filmmakers could do it. They're
you're
like,
right, all right,
let's
because
do
we're
it.
creatives, and so
Yeah,
I think there was a lot of guerrilla filmmaking happening. I had some
probably.
productions that were like, I used my iPad and
Yeah.
I would say a couple of Zoom plays. It was like it was
There
very
was, there was Zoom plays, and my acting class stayed on Zoom the whole time. They never skipped it. I think they missed 1 week in March when
wow.
everyone was like, and then we just like everything went on Zoom. We didn't skip a beat. It was
Yeah,
awesome, actually.
it was. I said people were. I like what you said. People were creative anyway, so they're trying to figure out
Yeah,
how can we do this with what
yeah,
we have. I mean, literally, I wish I owned stock in Zoom and StreamYard. I wish I
yeah.
owned stock before this happened because I'm like,
I know
who knew?
Zoom. I know. I
Zoom is doing
know.
everything, everything. I'm surprised Zoom isn't a channel yet. I'm surprised it's not there yet, where it's like a channel with stuff.
Yeah, right. Zoom is watching this right now and they're like, take notes. He didn't
Right.
copyright it.
He's right. Make me an executive. No.
Yeah, please.
Yes, but no, but you're right. There were a lot of things, and then there was lots of innovation. I saw a couple. I even for some people, but they had some films where they made it on their phone, and
Yeah,
they were doing it already, kind of. But like we had to do it on some level because it has to.
I
The show must
know.
go on. It's like the show must go
It
on.
must go on, and we're artists. We need to express. Like I do spoken word poetry,
Oh,
and I called my friend who has like all the camera gear. This is like I think maybe almost a year into it, and I was like, "Let's go." I want to do a visual piece for this poem that I wrote, and we went out to the Salton Sea, just me and him, and like went out to the ocean. We didn't see anybody, and recorded this thing and edited and like made a little, just a little something to throw up on your Instagram. But like it was art. We needed
yeah.
to do something. He needed to film something. I needed to like get what was going on in my body out into the world. So, we find little ways, it's kind of cool.
Wait a minute. Okay, so now I'm just gonna love you more now. I do spoken word stuff. I have 9 albums
Yeah.
now, and I do
What?
yes. Much of my spoken word is set to music. Uh,
I'm
I'm a huge. You can find me on Spotify. You can find me on SoundCloud. James Lott Jr. everywhere.
gonna find you.
Yes, you might like some of my stuff, but I'm like I
Yeah.
did a jazz album to spoken word.
Whoa.
Everything, so it's out to you, and it's really people loved it. And so I'm just you said spoken word. So how did you get into spoken word? I want to know. I want to know.
I remember a long time. I've always written poems. I just didn't know. Like back in the day, I thought they had to be super structured, right? Like they had to rhyme perfectly and blah, 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 and have this many syllables and this many words. And then I saw in Q, Mike, at there was a yoga studio on Highland. Oh gosh, what was it called? It's shut down now, but they had this big space where like Lewis Howes would go and talk
Oh
before his
wow,
podcast. Yeah, it
yeah.
got really big. And I saw in Q there and I was like, what is this? Like, what is this happening right now? It was so moving. So, and then I have a couple other friends that do it. And I just kind of started to write more like that. And, I'm not nearly as good as, those guys,
Yeah.
but it makes me feel like really it's just like a way of an expression that I really love. I really, really love it. And then it was the first time I ever put it to a visual piece with a song that I found with my friend Ryan. So I actually would love to do more of that. Like I love that a lot. I don't know if anyone else likes to watch it, but like it makes me feel good. So I'm like,
They
I'm
do.
just gonna keep
I'm sure
doing
they
it,
do.
right?
I'll tell you they do because I have an audience, and I'm telling you,
Really?
it's like you, it's a different kind of expression. It's just a
Yeah.
different kind because it's not singing, which I do also,
Mm-mm.
not singing.
Mm-hmm.
It's partial acting.
Yeah.
You're getting
Yeah.
every bar, every word in the poetry is something you're trying to convey.
Totally. Yeah.
You may also have an overarching theme you're trying to convey
Mm-hmm.
also. But it's not
Mm-hmm.
full on acting. So it's like somewhere in the middle there
Yes.
somewhere.
Yeah.
You're not rapping, but it's kind of like
No.
rapping.
Yeah, yeah. And it's revealing of yourself, I think it's very brave. I can't wait to listen to you. Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
Like,
I hope you
I
like
can't
it.
wait.
I have all kind of stuff. I hope you like. I write. I have a song I wrote for the haters. Doing that.
Yeah.
Okay, I did all kind of stuff. I just feel like it's a great expression. And one of my producers a long time ago was like, "Well, why don't you set some of this to music?" Like,
I love that.
like you. I didn't like you. I was always writing poetry. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Maybe it was our time, but we just didn't know you could do anything else with it. It wasn't until I
I think
saw.
it's so cool though, because then it's like we start to evolve. We get it off the page and lift it. You put it to music, like it just keeps growing and evolving, and then it touches people. Oh man, I'm feeling so inspired now.
And I love it. I used to be, don't be too. I'm like, you said spoken word, poetry, yes. But no, because the whole thing about poetry was always first was like for nerds and for these kind of things. I was like, but now we're seeing or super romantic and sentimental. No, but I'm sure you have too over the years. I've seen some pieces that were so powerful,
Mm-hmm.
from women, from men, from older, from
Mm-hmm.
younger, from
Yeah.
every color, every religion, and like, and you
Yeah.
sit there, you go, wow, that piece was like what 2 minutes long, or a minute long, or I just whatever, or 3 minutes long, just like, wow,
Yeah.
I'm blown away. And see, in
I
New York, they
know.
have the New York Poet Society Cafe, and in Alphabet
Oh,
City,
that's cool.
I used to go there. And it's tiny, it's packed. Obviously, you don't have
That's
to be Puerto Rican
cool.
to go. It could be everybody there, but it's this tight space. You got people talking about their weight. Are they talking about their hair? Are they talking about their eyes? Are they talking about their
Mm-hmm.
mothers? Are they talking about their boyfriend? Like it's so I love it, love it, love it, love it.
That's so good. It's so good. It's so healing and so
Yes.
different. I just love it. Oh, I'm feeling so
Oh, me too. No,
inspired.
me too. I was like, oh, I got another connection. I also
Oh, good.
so okay. So now, but you are an actress, and I want to
Yes.
know. So how'd you get into acting? What was the first thing you did?
Oh gosh. The first thing I did, I think it was a commercial. The first thing I ever did was a commercial. I like right when I was in film school, for a mattress company in Canada, Beauty Rest. And then I did like a milk commercial and like I kind of got in through that way, like not got in, but like that was like my start, I guess you would say. I
Yes.
was such a youngin in the business. It was really fun. And then, as life does, things kind of took a little bit of a turn and I ended up getting into production. So I worked on the back end of things, which was a hard decision because I was like, I'm an actor. I have to be in front of the camera and that's it. However, in hindsight, I was like, dang, I just like went to film school essentially, but being paid on set. Like you learn so much on the run of a show. So forever grateful for those movies and those experiences because I just think it helps me immensely as an artist. And I love like the producer side. So when I get to put my producer hat on, I'm like, oh, okay, I know how this goes because I've been on
I can see you
huge
as a
sets.
producer. I can see you as a producer. I can totally see you as a producer. It's been
Yeah.
there. But let's start right there. Let's start right there for a second. So I was going to ask you, you kind of touched on it. How has it helped you in front of the camera?
I think a couple of things, just knowing that. So even like when I'm auditioning, knowing that, like I've seen a casting process where a director picked between two headshots of two people for this role, both equally talented, both invited to show up, and one was just as quite as simple as like, this guy looks scarier. So we're going to go with him. So I was like, oh, like, actors we get in our head, we're like, oh my God, like, did we just get so in our head about this stuff, which is like, not okay. So I realized don't take it personally. Here's like the big pie of making a movie. We're like this big because
Right.
there's so much else going on. Like, and also because sets are so like chaotic and fast moving, it reminded me that like, I can't get caught up in that energy. When I walk on as an actress, you got to be cool. You got to be calm. You got to be in your body because this is our instrument, right? So if I'm picking up everyone else's energy who's running around because it's the last shot and the lights going down and they're scrambling, I can't be scrambling. So I just learned how to like stay cool. And then obviously technical stuff, like I know when they are switching a lens, I know what it is, how tight or how far away it is, or if I hear things going on, I understand it, so I feel more involved in like the whole project.
Yeah, I would feel it's that old adage back when I used to work for corporate stuff.
Yeah.
Where they say you should you should know all the parts of the job before you
Right.
become a boss. It's like
Right.
you become a boss, you kind of know how all the pieces move, and you can actually be a better boss. So I feel like you used to say, or in a store, like in retail, I worked in retail back in the day. I think everybody should do retail or food service at some point, customer service at some point.
Hospitality,
There you go.
waitress,
See, exactly. See, I think everybody should do it.
forever.
I think people should do it for just because you learn a lot about yourself
Yeah,
anyway. But a
I
lot of
agree.
times it's like I knew even though I worked in a restaurant, I was a busser at first, a busboy, a waiter. I did morning shift and did afternoon shift at some point. Evening.
Yes.
So you learn so you can be placed anywhere. And it's like
Yes.
overall, you're a better waiter because or a better server, whatever words you want to use. You're
Yeah,
better because you know all the parts.
I agree. I
I'm
agree.
assuming that's what I'm assuming it'd be the same thing. Like an actor, you go,
That's what it was. Yeah, totally. But some actors get the benefit or like they get the fortune of like they are just, some people start really young. There's so many kid actors where they grow up on a set. So they learn what I learned just by being in front of the camera. I didn't have that opportunity where I was booking every day, so
yeah.
I learned this way. But I'm imagining you could learn just as much if you were always in front of the camera or like, you've worked your entire life or something in front of it.
Now I know that, and folks, man, home may not know this, but I know that commercial is something very different than sitcom, episodic, and film. So,
Yeah.
um, so when you switched over to when you started doing, did you do film first or TV show first? What did you do first?
No, it was a movie. It was Oblivion. I think Universal.
Okay, so how is
Yeah.
the difference for you going from a commercial shoot to a movie shoot?
I mean, it was like the commercial shoot was like a big shoot. It was probably like 30 or 40 people. But then I walked onto this Universal set and I was like, there's about 400 people here. And they're like, hey, Kayla, can you XYZ? And I'm like, sure, Google, what is this? Like, I just didn't know. I was so new. But like I thrive in those situations because like I'm going to be cool. I'm going to be like, yeah. And then I'll go find out what it is, how to do it. Like I'll call whoever I need to call to make sure like I'm educating myself, and then I'll get the job done. And that's just the way it goes. So it was very different. It was so different.
I know pacing's a little different too, and things are a little different. I've done commercials, I've done movies, I've done TV.
Yeah.
So it's it's a little different. The pacing's a little different too.
Especially if you have the luxury of being on like a movie that has a lot of money and you're like, oh, we're only shooting 4 pages today or 3 pages. Whereas like some films are like 12 today. I'm like 12 pages. Okay. Be on your A game.
For like 16 hours. I mean, like seriously, like 16 hours on. There's a lot of hurry up and waiting too when you're on set sometimes. It's like
that famous line, hurry up and
wait. It's so, but you know it's true, girl.
It is. It's just the way it is.
It is.
I know.
So why do you like acting? What is it about acting for you that's drawn you to this creative piece of it?
I mean, it's funny because I always say this because this is like, I didn't have something in my life where I was like, I watched it and I was like, I want to do that.
Okay.
I just kind of knew, like I have a journal from when I was 5 years old and I was like, I just want to be an actress and I want to live in the sun. And I imagine living in the sun means Los Angeles.
Wow.
So it's new, like something in me. And like when I was young, my best friend and I would take her dad's camcorder and we would make videos. Like we would recreate things that we watch. We'd constantly make home videos all the time, play different characters. I just thought I was a kid with a wild imagination until I was like 20. And I was like, oh, you can actually do a job out of this. Like, this is a real thing. It's not just, some theater school that we did in high school. And so I started to go to film school, and that's when I was like, oh, okay. But I think on like a personal level for me, acting it's just like a way to use my voice. It's a way to express sides of myself that like, I'm a very like light, bubbly person, but there's a lot. I'm kind of shy. Like I'm kind of shy in certain. Yeah, like it's like I can do this easily, but when it comes to like the real stuff, I'm like a little shy. So acting is a really cool way to like expose parts of yourself and like give and share. And what I truly love is that I can be sitting in a theater watching a movie, and something about that film can like address something that's going on in my current life, and it can either break me open, close me off, do something, shift me. And so if I have the power to do that with my filmmakers to even just one person, then it's like my job's done.
Yeah, no, yeah, I agree with that. So let's talk about Hex or Hex called Hex.
Yeah.
So tell me, what is Hex about, first of all? What is it about?
Yes. Okay, so Hex is super fun. It is about a group of skydivers who get together to perform this one formation in the sky, which I'm not giving away any spoilers, but it turns out to be a very cursed skydive. And so in the trailer, what you see, one of the members disappears, and then the whole movie is trying to figure out what happened to him, how it happened, where he went. Is he still here? And discover like what goes on after we did this really bad formation, the Hex.
That's very different. Seriously, it's like when I saw it, I was like, oh, this is not like some regular movie. You don't see this very often. Skydiving, like
I know.
That's something different. So when you got the script, first saw the script, you're like, wow, this is really interesting.
Yeah, so we did a couple table reads for it, and it changed a lot as they do. There was a lot of rewrites and changes in the story just to make it deeper and more exciting. To be honest, I thought I think it translates really well to the screen, but I was really drawn in by the fact that it was skydiving. We haven't really seen that a lot lately. I know, like, I think Point Break was something a while ago.
Yeah, right.
And someone says it kind of feels like that mixed with one of the Final Destinations.
Oh my God.
So, yeah, I was like, that's fun. I mean, those were so fun.
I love those.
Yes, I know, such a ride. Yes. And the filmmakers involved were amazing, and they had access to like my stunt double, who is badass. So just even seeing what we do and what we actually film, like not fake, real, is like so cool. Like that's just like worth it to me. Cause I was like, you don't get to see this a lot, in a thriller, in a horror.
So who do you play?
I play Sarah. I play the lead. So I'm the missing part for this exact number of skydivers they need for the formation. So, like the skydiving drop zone, it's like a family vibe. Like they're very cliquey. And then I'm this like lone wolf that kind of comes in. I stick to myself or whatever. And they're like, no, we want her. And then they bring me in and, I just seem to be the catalyst for things that go down. I didn't do anything, but I'm just the newcomer. So
Yeah, you have to watch the film when it comes out.
Exactly.
What she does or doesn't.
Yeah, exactly.
Does. So because the whole thing is, I mean, like, will some come to the raft of the hex? So it's kind of there's a whole thing on that. So
yeah, exactly.
How to find that out. So.
Oh no, trust me, there's so much in there. Like I am not giving away nothing.
I love that about you. I love that. Now I always say it's so funny because nowadays we're starting to open back up again, kind of, and we're starting to have movies in them again, or VOD, or they have all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
So now you did another thing too that's coming out next year.
Yes.
Can you say anything about that?
Awaken. Yeah, that was, we shot that literally the week before we shut down. They were shooting all the way up into it. And I think they had to do reshoots like when we were allowed to reopen up again, because everyone was like, not anything for a year. I remember flying to Augusta, Georgia, and it was, I think, March 6th. And I was like the only one on the plane. And I kind of heard what was going on. And I was like, I'm gonna put this mask on. I was like the only person on the plane with a mask. I'm like, what's going on here? And like every day on set, everyone got like a little quieter and a little more quieter because we're like, it was just no one knew.
I know we didn't. I always say March 17th is when everything changed for me. March 17th is when everything changed. I did my last show March 15th, I think.
Yeah.
I was in the studio and we all went home and it was like 2 days later.
I know. That was my birthday, March 15th, which is hilarious. I was like, the world shut down on my birthday. What does that mean? It's not good.
I know. I interviewed somebody else who said they were the last days too. They were trying to get everything in. They were 12-hour, 14-hour days, get everything in. Something's coming. Like they weren't sure.
Oh God. Murmuring.
Remember, it was all this murmuring. Things were kind of bubbly.
Yeah, for sure. It was like really scary. But so that one, I mean, I think originally they were going to do theatrical release. I know a lot of stuff has changed, just where they go. So I haven't heard where it's landing yet, but that was a really cool story. And of course, Ed Asner was in it, which I didn't have a scene with him, but my co-stars did. And they were like, he was so fantastic. So I'm grateful that they got to work with him. Yeah.
Yeah. I knew him. I interviewed him like four or five times over the years. And
oh, wow.
He was a very lovely man. But I mean, somebody who worked up to his 90, he worked up to his death. I mean, he worked.
Yeah. Which is so cool about this business, like you can just do it for as long as you want.
Mm-hmm. Good. Okay, so I believe in manifestation. I believe
me too.
Concept. So on this, I always ask my actors, come on, you're singers, whatever.
Yeah.
Is there a type of role you would love to play?
Yes, anything on Taylor Sheridan's shows. I was so ready for that.
So that's specific, and you were ready. So I'm happy.
Yellowstone.
So I totally So Yellowstone, 1883, and I guess I would do some prequel coming out too.
Oh yeah,
they're so huge, right? And so I've been for the last year or so. People are like, James, I know you love Dallas. I know you love All these stuff. You'll love Yellowstone. You have to. So I'm going to start Yellowstone this weekend. I said I'm going to start watching it.
You haven't watched it? I'm excited for you.
Oh, everybody's like, I heard you can tell me if this is true or not. My female fans are telling me they write for females really well on that show.
Yeah, I can see that without a doubt.
Okay.
Yeah, really well. Yeah. You just got to stick with it too, because I know like popularity wise, it picked up a lot in season 3. It started getting a lot of notoriety. I loved it off the bat, but I've heard some people say like, oh, it took me like 3 episodes to really get into it, but it's beautiful. I mean, they shoot it in Montana. It's it's stunning. And Kevin Costner is he's just Kevin Costner. So, and I love horses. I'm from Canada.
Me too. I love them.
You do?
Well, seriously.
Oh, really?
Well, see, you and I should be BFFs. Seriously, because everybody I talk to on these shows,
Yeah.
Always connect with the fellow equine people. Like we are in,
Oh.
I've been into horses since I was a kid. I ride horses and
Yeah.
everything. And
Yeah.
I thought Yellowstone, I'm like, yeah, I mean, I love,
You're
I've
gonna
been to
love it.
Montana, I've been to Wyoming, I've been to all those places. I love that stuff. I love that stuff.
You're gonna love it then. Okay, we need to talk because I'm like, where do you go riding? I haven't been riding in a while.
I haven't been a while either. But anyway, so you're into horses too. So you like, so I was
Mhm.
good. So where are you from? Yeah, where are you from originally?
I'm from Vancouver. Well, a small town outside of Vancouver in Canada. Yeah. So a little teeny tiny town called Mission. And yeah.
I've stayed in Richmond and I've stayed in
Really?
Vancouver. Yes. I know Vancouver. Yes,
Oh,
I know Vancouver.
that's so cool. So we're like an hour east, basically. So Richmond's towards the water. We'd go like east inland. I mean, they film a lot out there. They were filming Riverdale a lot out there and like lots of movies of the week. So like Hallmark stuff.
Yes.
Or like in the town beside us.
I work with them. I work with the Hallmark, so that's why I know.
Oh, I love them so much.
I know all this stuff.
Really? Yeah. Oh my gosh. Okay. We have like a million connections.
I know.
Right I love this.
It's crazy. I know. Yeah, it's funny. No, but anyway, so that's Yellowstone. That's so funny you say so. Taylor Sheridan, because I watched a couple of interviews with him, and that sold me also.
Yeah.
Because it's like this literally is his life, kind of, and he's bringing it to screen. That's some of the best work that happens when it comes from you.
It's really good. I'm so excited for you to watch it.
No, seriously, everybody's been telling James. My brother and I both are like, we gotta watch it. We gotta watch this. Okay,
good.
I can do it this weekend. Let's do it this weekend and start watching it and start binging. And let's do it.
Yeah,
you're yet another person.
Yeah, it's a sign.
If you're listening, you're watching this at all. You never know. He could watch it. You never know. Somebody could give it to him. She wants to go on one of your shows.
Let's go.
I love that.
Yeah.
So what's next for anything next for you? That's what you working on or just life of an actor?
Yeah. No. I mean, it's just like busy season right now for actors. So reading a lot, which I'm so grateful for. I've got such a wonderful team and I just feel like we're tackling some really cool projects right now. So we'll see what sticks. And then on like a different note, me and my co-writer are actually doing a romantic comedy. Okay. So yeah, I'm so excited. So we've got that ready to go and we're about to start pitching. So that's a new avenue for me. I've written before like small stuff like shorts and and he's a super talented writer and I had this idea and he's like, yeah, let's do it. Because I read for Hallmark all the time and I'm sure
you do. You have that look.
Yeah. Oh, thanks. I really just love like heartwarming stories where it's like, you just feel good in the end. Cause sometimes like life is hard and you just want an easy, warm film. And I was like, dang, I got an idea. So I'm really excited about it. Yeah. I can't wait to see where that one lands. So we're going to go out in fall.
I was saying, I can see you being a writer. I can see you being a director and I can see you being a producer. I can see it already. I can feel it.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, we'll see. I mean, producing for sure. Directing, I'm like, oh, that looks so hard.
But you might be. You never know. It's like this thing I was saying.
Maybe one day.
It could be way later. It could be a project
exactly.
That you're like,
I know.
That you would know better
like 20 years down the line, I think I could see that.
That's
yeah,
fine.
Yeah.
That's fine. That's really fine. But I can see you being producing. I was gonna say writing. I was thinking I can see you writing your own stuff. So you just told me that you want your own thing, your own thing. So yeah, not surprised. Not surprised. Well, Kayla, thanks for being on the show. You are wonderful.
Thank you.
You're now part of the fan. I'm a fan of you. So any projects come out, come back on here.
I would love to.
I'll promote whatever you have. I will be following you on social media, so you'll see my name pop up some places.
Great. Yay. Thank you.
Spoken word stuff. I'm excited about that too.
Oh my gosh. Yes. We will have to link up because I can't wait to listen to everything.
Let's really do that. So where can they actually find you if they want to find you on social media links? Where can they find you?
Yeah, I'm pretty active on Instagram and my handle is at Kayla Adams Life.
Okay, now why? I like that. How'd you choose that?
I think originally when like Instagram first came out, I was like KK pics, like because it was just photos. Then I was like, this is not going to work out.
You're right. It was very different at the beginning. It was very different.
I mean, I had to go back and delete because I was like, this is not okay. We need to delete from 2016 on. Like, no, it's old. You know, if you're really bored, this is me being very open. If you're really bored, scroll to the bottom of somebody's Instagram because it's so interesting to see like what's the first things we used to post about. Which is like, you would never do that now.
It's very true. And what kills me on Facebook, I mean, I'm on there a lot, but they have a memory section, and they're all 14 years ago. I'm like, I know that.
No, I know. Delete it. I
I know.
can't. It's too much. It's too much.
Oh my god, that's hilarious. I know. It's like, I don't know why did I do? I had like 5 drinks in my hand. Like, why did I post that picture?
You're like, uh-oh,
Yeah,
delete.
so like, or a bad hairstyle. I'm like that. I have my hair like that. Okay.
Oh man, I
Yeah.
know. I don't like when Facebook does that. No, past is the past.
So go to Kayla Adams Life on Instagram and follow her. Hex, well, actually, when this comes out, Hex will be out. It's
Yeah.
out, so you can check out Hex. And just follow her. Thanks, Miss Kayla.
Thank
And I'm
you.
James Lott Jr. Extra Connections. Show us on Facebook. We're also JLJ Media everywhere you want to be. We're there. Buymeacoffee.com/James Lott Jr. It's a little tip jar thing I have. If you want to give me like $5, buy myself a coffee. That's what we do. It's a little fun thing that I have thing, and I have a podcast on that platform. So if you do that, you unlock a podcast, and we talk coffee. We talk all kinds of coffee. It's a lot of fun. We do that. Other than that, James Lott Jr. everywhere you want to be, and we will talk to you next time. Please stay hydrated if you're out there and it's hot. Have compassion and care for other people, and have some fun. See you next time.